Republican Mayra Flores has flipped a Democratic House district in South Texas, where 85% of residents are Latino. She will be the first Mexican-born Congresswoman and the first Republican to represent the Rio Grande Valley area in decades.
A blueprint for success is what the National Republican Congressional Committee calls GOP Congresswoman-elect Mayra Flores' decisive victory in traditionally Democratic South Texas. The Daughter of Mexican Immigrants platform was simple: fight crime, lower costs, and secure the border, where her husband is a patrol agent.
I pray for his safety now more than ever.
Republicans poured more than $1 million into the special election in a district President Joe Biden won by 4 points. It touches 80 miles of the southern border and is one of 3 South Texas Democratic strongholds the GOP is targeting in November. The DCCC says it is focused on November, when, as the incumbent, Flores must defend her seat. But this time, thanks to redistricting, she will be running in a region that is redrawn more favorably to Democrats. The GOP says they're confident she can do it.
It's setting up quite a fight there, as Mayra Flores won this special election, as they pointed out, in a normally stronghold for Democrats, first time ever. In fact, 100 years, they said in decades, but actually 100 years. Some more details about this, as Mayra is now the new. We're gonna find out just how insane this woman is. But Democrats are also already scrambling behind this. Again, she's serving until about December, and then they're gonna figure out what's happening next when they have the general where she has to defend this. So the DCCC needs to sit down and look at South Texas seriously. That's what Representative Henry Cuellar. That's what he told Politico on Thursday. I don't think it's a political realignment, but this should send a message to the DCCC. You can't take Hispanics for granted, which they always do. Let's not get into Henry Cuellar and taking his constituents for granted. Let's keep that real, if you know anything about Henry Cuellar. But continue on, because she has a little bit of questionable beliefs. Let's jump into this tweet from Alex Kaplan, who says, it appears that the Hispanic outreach chairwoman for the Hidalgo County, Texas Republican Party ran a Facebook ad a few days ago with multiple QAnon hashtags in it. So you can imagine which QAnon Congress people that she's gonna be joining and caucusing with. Here's a few of those screenshots that he pointed out that she had. Here's a few more there. Government's failed you. I've been government 49 years, going after Biden. Those are normal, typical things. But in her hashtags, there's a Q, there's QAnon, there's where one of us goes, then the rest of us and our children and grandchildren go, whatever that really long acronym is, doesn't matter. She's pushing all of those. So she's letting everyone really know who she is. Donald Trump knows who she is, and he actually truthed this out. Mayra Flores is the big winner in the Texas special election. No Republican has ever won this district. We are all really proud of Mayra, I'm sorry if I'm messing up her name. Great things to come, we will see. So also, Elon Musk jumped on as well. He said it's the first time he's voted for a Republican. I voted for Mayra Flores, first time I ever voted Republican. Massive red wave in 2022. They're all very happy about this. But again, as they pointed out at the top there, Bridget, she's got to defend this when they've redrawn those maps that are even more in favor of the Democratic opponent that she's gonna be facing. The guy that she did beat also didn't raise nearly as much, ran 0 TV ads. I'm not sure if they were underestimating her, but I think they might estimate her this time.
Yeah, and I think what's so interesting about this is that it really shows the power of some of the more insidious false claims that we've seen on the right from extremists. You've mentioned QAnon. I think if somebody at this point in the game in 2022, if somebody goes out of their way to stoke QAnon fervor, they're really telling you what they're about and who they're about. They're not about legitimate governing. They're not about like protecting our democracy. They're not about having actual substantive conversations about all the issues impacting Americans. They're about nonsense. They're about complete bunk, dangerous claims about QAnon, right? And so the fact that she, was completely willing to speak to that audience, I think really tells us a lot about her, like who she is. I also think that it's interesting that one of the things that she's running on is, crime. I think it really shows that we're kind of losing the thread on having real accurate conversations about crime and policing in this country. I think that the fact that she's able to get people on her side by really using a lot of ideology that scares people and makes people think that oh, crime is out of control in our cities, all of those narratives. I think it really shows that there is a lot of work to be done to really take back the conversation and really have it be about substance and reality and actual thoughtful things, not just fear mongering, which I think that somebody like her is realizing is actually quite powerful. But I think it's the same thing that we saw with Trump, this kind of fear mongering with a certain base is going to be effective, and it's really up to us to really present a better, alternative option of saying, no, you don't have to traffic in, fear and all of that. You can win on thoughtful, substantive conversations about what is actually impacting Americans, I think.
Well, it's time for her. We'll see. She has to back it up with some kind of legislation or some kind of action besides just the fear mongering. Many times they can sit on the fear mongering and then it's over. That's what Donald Trump did. What did he do? Come on.